Let's bring in Thomas Anderson. He's the co-director and senior fellow for the Transnational Threats Project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. And he recently got back from the region. Thomas, thanks for being here.
Great. Welcome. Thank you.
So a report in the New York Times states, quote, more than 70 Americans are thought by intelligence and counterterrorism officials to have traveled to Syria to fight the government of President Bashar al-Assad. Obviously, it is a policy of the Obama administration that they want the Assad regime to end, but it seems like with this terrorist threat, that's become almost less of an imperative.
Sure. We certainly don't know who would come after Assad if, in fact, there was a violent overthrow of the government. We're clearly more in favor of a managed transition where all parties get to influence who, in fact, takes its place. But we certainly would not want to see chaos come to the country beyond what we've already seen, and to have a flip-flopping of who runs the country. And I think we would see quite a mess there.
So 70 Americans over there. The same report claims as many as 3,000 Westerners in general. Are we able, is the U.S. government able to track these people? Do we know who they are? Would we be able to prevent them from coming back to the United States?
Well, I think it's very difficult, first of all, to prevent anyone from going over there. They're free to travel there as they see fit. Preventing their return is something we could certainly do. If we have evidence that they were engaged in the fight, we could certainly pick them up at the border. But these are people coming back on American passports or potentially on European passports or the passports from other visa waiver countries, and it's up to that customs officer at Dulles Airport or wherever to make that call and to determine. It's very difficult.
Why are they allowed to travel to, I mean, why would they be allowed to go there and fight? It just seems like is that something that the U.S. government thinks is okay for our citizens to be doing?
No, of course, the U.S. would not be in favor of these individuals.
But there's only a travel advisory from the State Department. It's legal to go there and fight.
No, absolutely. There's nothing they can do to prevent Americans from traveling to another country to do this. And, of course, these individuals are not advertising, for the most part, that they're going over there to engage in a battle. They can go to support the regime. They can go to support ISIS or the Free Syrian Army. But we can't stop them from doing that. What we can do is certainly arrest them upon return if they've engaged in terror activities and accounted for the loss of life, and then decide what to do from there.
Someone I know who works in national security told me that this group, ISIS, so out there that even al-Qaeda disavowed them earlier this year, that ISIS is the group that he worries that the next attempt to hit inside the U.S. will come from this group.
It could. It certainly could come from al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, but ISIS was disavowed by al-Qaeda leadership. Ayman al-Zawahiri.
I mean, what do you have to do to be disavowed by al-Qaeda?
Well, don't forget, there's a history of this happening where bin Laden and Zawahiri sent a note to the al-Qaeda in Iraq leader, the precursor to this group, saying, stop cutting off the heads of Westerners and stop killing so many Shia because the U.S. is using this as propaganda. So this is a long history of ISIS or the al-Qaeda in Iraq or the Islamic State of Iraq causing a problem for al-Qaeda management in Pakistan.
Terrifying. We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you so much.